You know what's funny? Men over 40 do these completely innocent things that just hit different. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're not following some dating strategy. They're literally just existing. But something about the way they move through the world, it's secretly driving women wild. If you've ever caught a woman staring longer than usual or suddenly getting flirty out of nowhere, you probably triggered one of these subconscious attraction signals without realizing it. Let me break down what we're actually noticing. 8. When you lower your voice without thinking about it, you're telling her something personal at a restaurant or explaining something technical. Maybe you're just focused on what you're saying and naturally your voice drops lower. You think nothing of it, but she notices immediately. That deeper, more measured tone you slip into, it's not intentional, but it's incredibly attractive. Years of experience have given you this natural gravitas. You speak with the quiet confidence of someone who's lived through things, who doesn't need to rush or raise his voice to be heard. She's responding to something primal. That calm authority in your voice suggests emotional stability and self-possession. Unlike younger guys, who might talk fast or loud to get attention, you've learned the power of speaking deliberately. When you naturally lower your voice during intimate moments of conversation, you're creating this bubble of intimacy without even trying. And trust me, we feel it immediately. The way you handle problems like it's nothing. The restaurant messed up the reservation. Her phone stops working. Something breaks. You just fix it. No big deal. No drama. To you, it's Tuesday. To her, it's incredibly attractive. You're not showing off or making a scene about your problem-solving skills. You've just reached an age where you've dealt with enough situations that most things don't rattle you anymore. You approach challenges with this calm competence that younger men haven't developed yet. She's watching you navigate the situation. Maybe you're talking to the manager with that steady confidence, or troubleshooting something technical without getting frustrated. You're not doing it for applause. You're doing it because it needs to be done. That effortless capability, that's mature masculinity in action. And women notice when a man can make problems disappear without making a process about him. 6. That look you give when you're actually listening. You're in conversation, and she's telling you something important. Instead of waiting for your turn to talk or getting distracted, you actually listen. And she can tell. There's this way you look at her when you're genuinely engaged. Steady eye contact, maybe a slight smile that suggests you find her genuinely interesting. It's not intense or overwhelming, it's just present. Most guys either avoid eye contact or make it feel awkward. But you've learned how to hold space in conversation. You're comfortable with moments of silence. You don't feel the need to fill every pause with chatter. When you look at her like that, like you're actually seeing her, not just waiting for your turn to speak, it creates this magnetic pull. You're demonstrating emotional intelligence and genuine interest without trying to impress her. That's the kind of attention that makes a woman feel truly seen. 5. How you handle awkward situations. Someone's being rude to the waitress. There's an uncomfortable moment in a group setting. Something socially awkward happens. You address it calmly, directly, without making it a big thing. You're not trying to be the hero or prove how tough you are. You've just developed the social confidence to navigate complex interpersonal situations smoothly. You speak up when something needs to be said, but you do it with the kind of measured authority that comes with experience. She's watching how other people respond to you, how they listen when you speak, how situations somehow get resolved when you're involved. You command respect without demanding it. This isn't about being controlling or domineering. It's about being the kind of man who makes the people around him feel safer and more comfortable. That quiet leadership is incredibly attractive. 4. The way you move through space. You're walking into a restaurant, sitting in a meeting, even just stretching after a long day. There's something about how you carry yourself that's completely natural but incredibly magnetic. You move like someone who's comfortable in his own skin, not aggressively taking up space, not apologetically shrinking, just existing with this quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and what you're worth. Maybe you lean back in your chair during dinner. Maybe you stretch your shoulders without thinking about who's watching. These aren't calculated moves, they're just how you naturally inhabit your body after years of experience. She notices that authentic self-possession. You're not performing masculinity or trying to look cool. You're just being a man who's lived enough life to be genuinely comfortable with himself. That kind of natural confidence is rare and incredibly attractive. Quick pause. Can I let you in on something most guys never figure out? Women do give off attraction signals, but they're subtle, and most of the time, we're not even aware we're doing it. That's why I put together a cheat sheet. 25 hidden signals she's secretly into you. These are real-world cues, lip bites, posture shifts, playful touches we throw out when we want you to notice. It's just $7, and yeah, it'll change the way you read women fast. Check the link in the description and see for yourself. 3. Your approach to style. You're wearing a well-fitted button-down, quality shoes that you actually take care of, a watch that looks like it costs more than a college textbook. You're not following trends or trying to look younger. You dress like someone who understands quality and has learned what works on him. To her, this suggests something powerful: discernment, success, and genuine self-respect. You've figured out your style and invested in pieces that reflect who you are. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're just dressed like a man who has his life together. Women notice when a man dresses with intention rather than desperation, especially women who've dated enough younger guys who either don't know how to dress or are trying too hard to be trendy. Your mature approach to style stands out in the best possible way. 2. How you create moments. Mid-conversation, you pause. Not because you don't know what to say, but because you're actually thinking about what she just told you. You're comfortable with silence. You don't feel the need to fill every second with noise. Maybe you look at her for a moment longer than most guys would, not in a creepy way, in a way that suggests you're genuinely interested in what's happening behind her eyes. This creates tension in the best possible way. She might wonder what you're thinking. The moment feels charged, but not uncomfortable. Because when a man knows how to create and hold space in conversation, when he's not anxiously performing or trying to entertain, it suggests depth, emotional intelligence, and genuine confidence. That kind of presence is increasingly rare and incredibly attractive. 1. Your protective instincts. You naturally walk on the street side of the sidewalk. You guide her through a crowded space with a light touch on her back. You hold the door, not because you think she can't, but because it feels natural. These aren't grand gestures or calculated moves, they're just the refined behaviors of a man who's learned how to care for others without making it about himself. She notices these subtle acts of consideration. You're not trying to prove how chivalrous you are or make a statement about gender roles. You're just being the kind of man who instinctively looks out for others' comfort and safety. That authentic protectiveness, combined with your natural authority, creates a powerful combination that makes her feel both safe and attracted. It's evolved masculinity in action, strong without being overbearing, protective without being controlling. I'm curious, have you ever done something completely normal and noticed a woman react unexpectedly? Share your observations in the comments. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more insights on what actually creates attraction, and check out the next video, 8 things that make her think about you all day, even if you just met. Trust me, once you understand what we're really paying attention to, everything changes.